According to a new study by climatologists, Bolivia will be overwhelmed by a catastrophic drought within 50 years. They say Lake Titicaca, which sustains the capital La Paz, is drying up at an alarming pace, putting millions of lives at risk.
When this lake basically goes away, suddenly the area there becomes a desert. And so this could happen, we think, within the next 50 years.
Bolivia's government has declared a national emergency because of a water shortage as it suffers the worst drought in 25 years. The country's capital gets water for just 3 hours a day as reservoirs run dry.
The Inca Chaca reservoir, which serves La Paz, has been reduced to less than 10% of its capacity. The mountains that surround it should, at this time of the year, be covered with snow. The rain, when it comes, is not enough to alleviate the worst drought anyone here can remember.
2 of the main 3 dam reservoirs feeding the city of La Paz are at 8% capacity, while the third is in the danger zone at just 1%.
The government blames a combination of climate change, waste, poor investment in infrastructure and unusually low rainfall.
Alimento era eso, pero ahora no tenemos.
Last week, residents in Bolivia's second largest city, El Alto, briefly held hostage authorities from a local water company to demand an explanation for the shortage.
While in the cities, water rationing has become part of daily life. There have been protests and anger on the streets.
The water shortages have hit poor and wealthier neighbourhoods. Farmers have lost crops and livestock. Residents are increasingly taking to the streets to demand speedier action, to demand water, the water necessary every day for everyday life.
President Evo Morales said he's planning for the worst and that he'll make large investments in mitigation resources that can adapt to the effects of climate change on the country's water supply. He also requested for local governments to drill wells and send workers to help bring water into cities that need it.
The government has pledged to spend millions building new reservoirs. Experts, though, warn Bolivia is one of the world's most vulnerable nations to climate change. And these farmers have already seen their land change before their eyes.
We tend to take for granted something as fundamental to our daily lives as water until it runs dry.